Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hollywood Rack's destination 4-bike platform rack here on our 2014 Toyota Prius B. So the destination 4-bike platform rack is probably going to be one of the best affordable as well as relatively lightweight platform racks that we have here at eTrailer. Now you do have some features that you will lack compared to other more premium bike racks, but I still think it's a really good all-around entry-level rack. And we'll talk about those features, but we are going to focus right here today on our Prius B and how it works with the car. That way you can see the different pros and cons and make the best fit for you, your different types of bikes, and your vehicle. So the first feature that we'll actually miss out on is the tilt away feature. This bike rack does not tilt away, so if you do want to access your hatch, you are going to have to take the bike off. So what types of bikes can this bike rack carry? Well, we have 3 touch points. 1 and 2 are going to be the wheel straps. So those actually carry most of the weight and hold down the bike to the rack. And then the third is going to be the frame mount. And that's where this really shines compared to the other entry-level bike racks. We have this mount that can go up, down, left, right, and even around depending on your frames of different shapes and different sizes. Now you do have a 35-pound weight capacity with this rack. So if you have extra heavy electric bikes, probably not going to be the best fit for you. You may be more interested in something more versatile like the Yakima Stage 2 4-bike platform rack, but that is definitely a more premium rack. Now if you want to take your bike off, you actually start at the wheel straps. You just press that lever and then you can lift up on the strap, and then this is going to be sitting on a bolt, so you can just go ahead and twist that downwards. That way it's not in the way of your spokes when you want to take the bike off. So again, press that lever to release the strap, lift up on the strap, and then just get that out of the way. Now all 4-bike platform racks are going to be bulky, so this is pretty compact, but you are still going to have to reach over the rack if you want to access your bike. So if you have those wheel straps out, try to figure out the best way to support your bike as you press the lever on that frame mount and you take that strap out. So here you can actually move the mast down if you want to, or you can just kind of tilt it away and towards your vehicle. This is helpful because the mast is so short that all you need to do is lift up and then over, and you are now ready to go on a bike ride. So with the bike off, can we now open up our hatch? Well, as you can see, we actually make contact with our mast there. So we are going to have to lower the mast. So notice here how we have this little knob. You're going to want to turn that knob just enough so that you can loosen the stand that's holding the mast up, and then flip that down, and don't forget to tighten down on the knob. Then you can move this mast into the bike rack itself. So you have 2 different options here. You can use the strap on the mast itself, or you can use one of the wheel straps to secure the mast. Whichever you do, I do recommend switching it back and forth. That way you don't over twist the straps. Now while we're here, we can take a look at the bike rack itself. So notice the way that the rack is formed, kind of like the wings. So your cradles here go and accommodate those different wheelbases. So see how that strap moves back and forth? You can also move this up and down those wings for those wheelbases. And then once you have that in place, tighten that down. You also have this rubber grip on top just to help support the wheel as well as to cushion it. So you saw we had our longer mountain bike on this rack. When you do have a weight capacity of 35 pounds, that does limit your bike rack. You also have a tire width limit of 3 inches as your widest tires. With the ability to carry around a lot of bikes, there's also going to be a lot of length added to the back of your car. So measuring from our bumper on our Prius V to the end of the rack by those nice white reflectors, we have a length of 40 inches. So that's a lot. Definitely a measurement to keep in mind when you're backing into your garage or trying to park into a tight spot. Also, don't forget to account for your extra long handlebars. So the Prius V actually has slightly more ground clearance than the Prius when it comes to the hitches on there, but you still have to be mindful since this is going to be a lot of length added to the back. So measuring for ground clearance, over here at the end of the rack, it sits at 22 3/4 inches. At the end of the wings, it's going to be 18 1/4 inches, but compare that measurement over here by the shank, and that's going to be 11 inches. So you do have a gradual shank rise. Slightly helpful when it comes to your different bikes and them being right beside each other, but also when you go up those steep inclines like those driveways or hills, when your front goes up and your back goes down, this will help keep your bikes off the ground. But what if you're not planning on going out for a bike ride just yet, but you also don't want to take your bikes off? You can move this up into the portable or compact position. Just remember though, that once your mast is down, this is going to be the only time you can open up your bike rack. Once you fold it up, you lose that access. So just keep that in mind when planning your day. So to move this up, we're going to take this clip out first, and then we're going to rotate this knob, which is holding our bike rack in place. So with that knob out, just let that hang. It has its string. You're going to lift up on the rack. This is very lightweight, by the way. Bring that up against the vehicle, and then pop that bolt right back in where you took it out of, and then tighten it down. This is going to be threaded, so please don't forget this movement here because it holds everything in place. With it now in the compact position, let's take some measurements. So the closest point is going to be pretty far away from our car, measuring from the bumper to right where those frame mounts are going to be. It sits at 4.5 inches of clearance, so plenty of clearance there. The length this now adds though to the back of our vehicle is from that bumper to that hinge, 13 inches. So when you're driving around town and you don't want to take up too much space, this is going to be a very helpful position to have it in. But also if you need to store this in your garage, go ahead and fold it up. So the Destination 4 has a 2-inch shank. So to use this with your Prius V, you are going to have the 2-inch hitch receiver. I highly recommend upgrading to that if your other option was the 1.25 inch. But that bike rack fits right into that 2-inch hitch, and you have an anti-rattle bolt that goes through there and secures it. You also have a lock that's going to be used with the cable lock that goes around your bikes. Now that anti-rattle bolt uses a 3/4 inch socket or a wrench to tighten down. Just make sure that you tighten it down properly. We have extra wrenches if you want to add that to keep it with your bike rack. So as I demonstrate, I'm going to shake this back and forth just to simulate that road movement and vibration. Notice how our car is really moving at this point. That's because everything is secure. If you do notice some movement though, just make sure that bolt, when you tilted it up, is nice and tight. And that was a look right here at our Hollywood Racks Destination 4 bike platform rack on our 2014 Toyota Prius V. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed the journey.